Adventure is about experiencing new people, new cultures, new horizons. About learning who you are in relation to the rest of the world. 7 people come together to travel thousands of miles across the globe in search of adventure. The expedition is also a Parkinson's fundraiser. Every kilometre they drive raises money and awareness for Parkinson's disease. Starting from San Francisco, California, the expedition team heads down into Mexico and Central America. They continue driving to the tip of South America, where the cars catch a ship to Australia. The team cuts across the outback, hops over to Singapore, where they follow the route north through Southeast Asia. Then they swing west into India, up into China, and across the Siberian wilderness. Finally, they drive through Alaska, Canada, and back home. The expedition is the brainchild of Nick Bagley. Nick founded Drive Around the World, an organisation that combines charitable fundraising and adventure travel.
We're on the Alden River and we're checking email. It's pretty cool.
Todd Borgie, a former Peace Corps volunteer, has an insatiable curiosity for other cultures. Here on the expedition, he serves as the mechanic.
I guess I'm the secondary mechanic, which the secondary mechanic does all the work.
Nancy Olson, a captain in the Marine Corps Reserves and an adventure racer, is in charge of the team's public relations.
I was just driving by a tree back there and this was right up against the tree. Ah, cool.
Justin Mounts left the comfort of his 6-figure job as a business consultant for the romance and adventure of the road. He keeps the group on track as the team navigator.
You know, I used to make the claim that I was the whitest guy in California. I've taken that claim global now. I am the whitest guy in the world.
Shanda Groom is in charge of logistics. She also maintains contact with the outside world through the team's website, odysseyshow.com.
So, they're selling kangaroo tails in the frozen section in the Wakarna Roadhouse.
Neil Dana, the team photographer, is a musician and has surfed all over the world.
I surf all the time. I surf reefs that are only 1-2 feet deep. This is 6 feet deep. This is not dangerous.
Rolf Potts is a travel writer who agreed to tag along to help document the expedition. His book, Vagabonding, is a guide to traveling light.
We're going to buy some major explosives and take them into Honduras. In some cultures, this would be called smuggling.
Nick had the expedition vehicles modified to be able to handle travel through even the most extreme environments.
They just look mean. They look like something you'd see in Tomb Raider, or, you know, if Indiana Jones were shot today, he'd definitely be out in a super kitted up, you know, 4x4.
The vehicles will be the team's only link to civilization in hostile or remote locations.
They just look like something that you could take anywhere. And they look like that because you can take these things anywhere, and we're going to take them everywhere. My heart's beating a little bit faster than it usually does. That means it's a good driving day.
Philosophically, I guess it sort of goes against how I like to travel. I wrote a book about independent travel, and I say, don't bring anything you don't want stolen. Well, we're driving expensive vehicles that we don't want stolen, and that's sort of the basic fact of our expedition. We're traveling through developing countries in vehicles that could, you know, feed a family for 10 years. I don't want to be a doomsayer, but we'll see what happens with the expensive kit we're bringing along.
Day 1. The team finishes packing up and gets ready to roll out of Drive Around the World headquarters. After months of preparation, they're finally on their way. The team gets a few days of training in off-road driving. Certified instructors teach them how to handle the vehicles in difficult terrain and also offer some advice about the difficulties of life on the road.
It's a big leap of trust. We got to take the vehicles out, and you know, you're going up hills like this and climbing boulders and vehicles on 2 wheels, 3 wheels, and that was a pretty good team building exercise.
You can feel it on there, so as that vehicle starts to lift up, you just want to stay squeezing that throttle consistently. Stop! First and foremost, schedules, you guys suck. We were here at 8:30 yesterday. We were supposed to start at 8:30. You didn't show up till 9:15. Fine, we're happy and we're about that. But come day 60, when Nancy, let's say you want to sleep in, but you know what, we're leaving at 6:30 and then you don't leave until 7:30, I'd be downright furious. Maybe you're not a morning person. I don't care. I mean, if you say this is what time we're going to leave, then you need to pull it together and you need to wake up earlier. And that's just those adjustments, because otherwise you guys really will get on each other's nerves and then the whole thing blows up.
Make your time before 7:30 so we can leave at 7:30. That's what time is.
You're way too high-strung right now.
You're not listening to me. You're not listening to me.
Coming up next, the team drives to Las Vegas to take part in the National Auto Show.
We're gonna go race some cars.
I kind of see myself as the villain of Drive Around the World.
Sending an expedition team to Las Vegas as your first stop on an expedition is not a good idea, but that's what we're doing.
Each year, the SEMA Auto Show attracts more than 100,000 manufacturers, enthusiasts and industry leaders from around the world to Las Vegas. The team spends 5 days at the show, which gives them a chance to meet with sponsors, show off their vehicles and get to know their fellow teammates a little better.
We're gonna go race some cars.
After several days in Vegas, everyone is anxious to hit the road. Next stop, Mexico. They reach the border around midnight. It takes them more than 2 hours to get through. Passports, vehicle registrations, customs declarations, and international driver's licenses are just some of the documents they need. This will prove to be one of their easier border crossings.
Our licenses are being held hostage right now.
They want to charge us $20 a piece to get them back, so the bureaucracy that comes with borders.
It's okay. The passport is okay. The visa, China visa is okay.
We just got deported from China.
There she blows. Very nice.
We were finally on way in Mexico. We just crossed the border, which took about 2 hours at midnight. I got sick already, so right now my mouth is swollen up. I got sores all over, my lymph glands are swollen up. I'm about to not be so happy in my pants if you don't get to a bathroom pretty quick, because we were in Vegas partying, thanks to Red Bull and vodka, and before you knew it, I was picking up blackjack dealers, literally. And she's like, yeah, I need a place to stay. So the bright idea pops up in my head, oh, I'll take her to our house tent. So I pop up the tent on the roof of our truck, and she basically bailed. It's like, oh, you know, I think I'll just go home. So, but unfortunately, I think her little kiss goodbye to me gave me this wonderful case of whatever I have. But anyway, estamos en Baja y estamos muy excitados.
They drive on into Mexico and find a place to camp about 70 miles south of the border.
The wake-up call's in about a half hour, so I thought I'd get up early and go take a shower. Then I messed up and accidentally set off the car alarm, so you know, everybody gets a little bit more of an early start because of me. Oh, good. Okay then.
Where did Nancy Olsen go?
The team settles into the daily routine of expeditionary travel, and the realities of life on the road begin to set in.
7:42. Temperature of about 57 degrees Fahrenheit, which makes it about something I can't calculate Celsius, and light rain. Showers are cold and free, but they are wet. Breakfast is serving across the way with a little bit of coffee.
They got breakfast here?
They have breakfast here, started about 42 minutes ago.
Sweet.
They stop in a small town to pick up supplies before heading out for a long day of driving.
We are here in a little town just south of Ensenada, shopping for the first time in Baja. And we're gonna go drive another 6-7 hours south today. These are real bananas. These are so delicious, they're creamy. The United States does not know what good bananas are until they try these little teeny bananas.
It'll take several days to drive through Baja. Already behind schedule, they'll race to La Paz, where they'll catch the ferry to Mazatlan in mainland Mexico.
20 minutes to find a strategic piss zone. Yeah, we're a bunch of girls.
Baja is an arid place, full of cactus, sand and circling vultures. But its people turn most of their attention to the sea. Fishing and tourism are the mainstays of the Baja economy and culture.
This is Club Cabo, and you're not invited.
I think there's a lot that stands to bother me about other people. I'm just going to have to fight being irritated by idiosyncrasies. And it's a very idiosyncratic team. I mean, we're just sort of a weird bunch.
So we had to keep running.
Boing, 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 boing.
Is that your hair?
I want to eat your baby.
I have gasoline and a knife.
We're in Loreto right now, which is in southern Baja, and we are looking for a hotel, specifically a place where we can park our vehicles so they don't get stolen at night.
Accommodations pose an interesting challenge. The team's budget is tight and they need to find lodging that's cheap but secure.
They gave us 3 rooms for $100. We probably could have bargained them down a little bit more. Shannon and I needed to get our secret hand signals down.
What are we doing? We're walking in.
We're gonna walk in first. Walk right in. So we're what? We're 2 days behind right now?
Let me look.
No, we're more than that. We're 3 days behind right now.
The best way to calibrate how late we are is to look at the ferry to La Paz, which is what we're going to take tomorrow.
So, and we were originally supposed to take it yesterday.
Though still weeks away, they learn that their ship from Panama to Ecuador is departing earlier than they expected. If they miss it, they'll be stranded in Panama for over a month. Coming up next, tensions run high as the team struggles with the Mexican bureaucracy.
Shit, for real. What do we do?
Someone needs to be working on greasing the wheels right now.
So I don't know why we weren't prepared this time ahead of time. Yeah, here we are at the ferry terminal in La Paz, getting ready to go to Mazatlan. We have to go weigh our vehicles and give them all the registrations. At La Paz, we can't get on the boat because we need a notary of Republic saying that Nick gives us the permission to drive each of the other vehicles because you're only allowed 1 owner per vehicle.
The team finds himself without the proper paperwork. In an effort to stay on schedule, Nick decides to try and forge the necessary documents.
What we're doing now is writing a letter that authorizes each of the expedition team members to drive these vehicles in Mexico. And we have to somehow get it notarized before the ship leaves at 3.
Would say estamos buscando para una abogado. That means like we are looking for a lawyer.
Me type, bright white paper.
Shit, for real. What do we do?
We get this thing working.
Someone needs to be working on greasing the wheels right now. That's the if this doesn't work, it's the only thing that's going to get us on.
Why don't we call
It goes in 30
Republic?
minutes. So Nancy, please go tell Neil to do whatever he can.
And the thing that fucking pisses me off is that last time Nick came through here 2 years ago, they told him the same thing, that you have to have a notarized piece of paper. So I don't know why we weren't prepared this time ahead of time. So it looks like we're gonna have to stay here another night, most likely. I doubt we're getting on the ferry. And we're already behind, trying to get to Panama on time to catch our boat, which leaves. So it's pretty brutal.
Thumbs down for today, boys. Thumbs maybe for tomorrow.
The next day, the team is back with their paperwork in order and ready to catch the ferry.
Yeah, we got the paperwork. Basically, we had to go to the lawyer's office and get our notary of republic stamped on our paperwork, and it was an office full of women who seemed to be like talking all the time, and it took a long time. We got it, so now we're here, so I gotta go translate.
Check all this out. Everyone's passport, tourist card, boat information, registration. You got to carry the vehicle title with you, which is loco. This is Neil's copies, 3 copies of everything for Neil. Look at all this. Just to take a ferry to Mexico.
I got some interesting news for you.
No ferry today?
No ferry today.
But where's our buddy from Customs who said there was a commercial ferry today?
Well, normally there is on Mondays, but today they decided to clean it because there's not that much cargo going.
One thing after another.
Looks like we might be partying in La Paz one more time. For the 3rd night in a row.
Stay tuned for a sneak preview from future episodes of Odyssey, Drive Around the World.
My GPS is reading 17,720 feet.
Coming up on future episodes of Odyssey.
Come across a dingo. They're known to be pretty vicious, so I might step and put out of the car.
Selling booze to drunk Aussies, not that difficult.
What do we have here?
A very big rock. That's too close for my comfort.
This place is hot, Amala. I'm not gonna be able to steer for these sands.
The one thing that's most important to me when I talk to people, and I ask this in every single country, is what they're most proud of about their country. And what I found interesting all across the board, virtually every person that I interviewed in Central America has said that the people are the most wonderful thing in their country, and that's their asset.
We're at about 13,000 feet. We're heading out to go see the reed islands. This culture actually made these islands out of reed. The Incans pushed them out of this area back in the day, so they moved out into the water and made islands.
Because I guarantee you, if we drive to Antofagasta, nobody's going to want to get up at 6 a.m. to leave.
Here in the middle of Chile, and we don't have gas.
I don't see anyone out. I think this town has some secrets.
Welcome to the end of the world and the end of the road. This is as far south as you can go. You want to know what the inside of a kangaroo looks like? Just look under my car. I clipped one about 1.5 miles back, 2 miles back.
Tickles.
By the end of today, it'll be day 4. I'll be ready for a shower.
You ready now, my friend?
There's a car coming. This is the first oncoming car we've seen in probably 4 days.
So far, we've crossed 19 countries, 7 deserts, we've crossed 11 canals, and dozens of jungles.
They're not used to seeing foreigners. We're in a part of India where foreigners usually don't come. This is probably a first for them. We just arrived at the highest navigable road in the world.
My GPS is reading 17,720 feet.
Did he fall off the back of the bike?
Oh no.
We just came across this man that I guess fell off his motorcycle with his child, and his child's head's cut open and bleeding. Not many people get to meet the Dalai Lama, so we're extremely fortunate. I'm feeling all floaty and high right now. Kind of like the Dalai Lama buzz that you get after meeting the Dalai Lama. Shehzada Lama. We got little Shehzada lamb with us.
We did travel through some areas that were Taliban and Al-Qaeda sympathizers, but I think we're going to be able to avoid them and take care of the paperwork and get back on the road. It's got a big, soft, puffy butt.
We're about as far north as we're going to get. We're at about 62 degrees north latitude. When it's this cold, you can't make snowballs. Snow is like detergent.
Oh, you broke his leg.
That was gross. We just heard the leg break.
Okay, you got out a couple of times.
Oh, it smells like meat in there. That's a moose leg right there. That weighs 60 pounds.
Holy mackerel.
Coming up on Odyssey, the pressure's on as the team races to catch their ship in Panama.
From El Salvador into Honduras, the road's deteriorated, and I expect it to get at least twice as bad going into Nicaragua.
Oh, it's hot.
Will they miss the ship and be stranded in Panama?
There's a silver lining to every dark cloud, I suppose.
For more adventures, visit odysseyshow.com.